The Yolo operational area damage assessment applications work together as one suite. There are several different applications, and the first one is the data entry application. This is typically used by field personnel to gather information at the field level, either building damage assessments, water infrastructure damage assessments, and so it's very important for you to have it on your smartphone. The application lives on your phone and caches information into the phone's memory that it sends up to all of the other applications at the emergency operations centers each time you hit either cell or Wi-Fi service. So here I'm using an iPhone. If you're on an Android, you'll obviously have to kind of duplicate what I do, but more in the Google Play Store. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the iTunes Store. When you're here in the iTunes Store, you want to touch the search button in the lower right-hand corner, and all you're going to do is type in Survey123 in order to find the Survey123 application. You can see it's actually the first one that pops up. Mine has a little picture of a cloud because I've downloaded it before. If you haven't, it will probably say Get. It is a free application, so it won't cost you anything to load it on your phone, aside from whatever your data plan is when you're sending information up. So if you have unlimited data, you won't actually even see anything. I'm going to go ahead and touch the cloud button to go ahead and load this application onto my phone, and you can see my network is pretty fast, so it's going to load pretty quickly. If you're out on Wi-Fi signal trying to do this in the field, it might take a little bit longer, but not too much. It's a very small app. And once the app is loaded, then you'll have the ability to open it. I'm actually going to go to my home screen here to show you that it's there on the home screen, and I'm not going to open it right now. Really, the only thing you need to have the app on the phone. We're going to actually show you how to load the damage assessment application right into that app so that you have it forever and ever. The way we do that is we open a web browser. Pretty much any web browser, doesn't matter. And the URL that you're going to want to type is www.tinyurl.com and then /YOLO damage. So once you type that in, that tiny URL is going to actually send you to a much longer one, which is the URL that houses our damage assessment application. You'll see that once it loads here, it's asking you if you want to open in the browser or open in the app that we just downloaded from the store. If you open it in the browser, you must be connected to the internet the entire time you're using it. So that's really not the recommended use of this app. The best way for you to use it is to click that bottom box, which is open in the Survey123 app. It's going to ask you to confirm that choice, and then it's going to switch over to the app on your mobile device in order to open the Survey123 app. Might take just a couple of seconds to download and unpack it the first time, but once you do this, then the app is on your phone the entire time. You never have to go to that URL ever again. I'm going to go ahead and click allow here so that it will actually geolocate where I'm standing. That makes it a little bit easier to kind of find yourself. And if you're a field reporter, we're always going to want you to put your name in the top and your phone number in that reporter name, reporter phone section so that we can contact you back if we have any questions about the data that you're putting in here. Because again, all this data feeds up to a map that the emergency operations centers are watching and adding more information to. If you're a field level assessor, you have a very limited number of choices in the types of assessments you can do. These are directly tied to FEMA reimbursements, rules and things like that. So if I'm a building inspector, then I'm going to actually touch the very first one, which is building. And then depending on what type of damage I have decided to report, all of the other fields below will change to match that type of damage. So since I'm in building, here I can choose whether I'm reporting damage on a publicly owned facility, a privately owned facility, or a residence. So if I choose residence, again, the little map is gathering where my phone is sitting at the moment. But then it also gives me other fields for street address and everything for that specific residence. Because I'm doing a residence, it's going to ask me for the name of the resident if I have it. None of these fields are mandatory, just in case you don't have them, but we do want as much information as possible. We want to know if the property is a rental or not. So you would end up selecting one of those radio buttons. We want to know if the building's been inspected already. And you'll notice that if I say it has been inspected, it's now going to ask me for the tagging category that building received, as well as it's going to ask me to identify a description for the damage. Is it inaccessible, affected, major, minor, destroyed? Those are all FEMA categories. So you'll have to do your best to look at the building and assess which one it actually matches with most closely. There are also description fields, and you can use these buttons to attach photographs of the damage right straight from the app. If you've opened the app into the Survey123 the way that we're recommending, all of this information is caching into your phone, and it'll get sent up to the internet the next time you hit internet signal, so you don't actually have to be on the internet to do your damage assessments. Once you actually finish filling in as many fields as you want, you're going to hit the little green check or white check mark, white and green check mark at the bottom right-hand corner there. And that is what sends it either into the query to be sent up or sends it directly if you do have internet signal. So that's as hard as using the damage assessment app is. You can go back and submit as many records as you need to for the type of damage you're reporting. That way the emergency operations centers can get a really good visual on all of the damage that's out in the operational area. After this first load, the damage assessment app, it will be stored on your phone, like I said. So even if you're not using the web browser, you notice I just closed those things. If I want to use it, say, a different day, from now on, all I'm going to do is click on my Survey123 app, because we went ahead and loaded that survey directly in there. You'll notice since I was in the middle of a survey, when I stopped, it wants to know if I want to continue the one I was doing. I'm just going to say discard, and you'll see the damage assessment survey right there. So if I was entering another one on a different day, I went home, I took a nap and everything, I'm just going to come in here and touch on the assessment I want, and then touch the collect button. And you'll notice the screen pops right back up just like I was showing you guys earlier, so that you can just continue in putting in damage assessments.